Hey everyone, it's Flak. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather still, but, well, the details just don't stop in Battlefield 5, especially with the release of the new Solomon Islands map. This setting transports players deep into the jungles of the Pacific for a brawl in some of the world's most unforgiving terrain. For this video, we're going to check out 10 more cool details in Battlefield 5, most of them particular to the Solomon Islands map. But if you want to check out over a dozen other detailed videos for Battlefield 5, click the link here on the screen. So first up, let's take to the skies over the Solomon Islands. Now, you can't pilot planes on the map, but that doesn't mean you won't see them. Corsairs fly over the beaches routinely during the match, and you'll even see them run close air support sorties, dropping bombs just outside of the playable area. These airplanes are technically considered neutral by the game, and they can actually be shot down by either side. If you pay close attention, you can even spot more aircraft in the distance, similar to those found in the background of other Pacific Theater maps. Next, the developers chipped in some extra effort to make the Solomon Islands map feel tropical. Such locations are known for their sweltering heat and humidity, so don't be surprised if you see storms brewing in the background. Temperature variations also create a creepy fog along certain parts of the rivers. That haze disappears the closer you get to it, giving the map an almost supernatural Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom kind of feel. For number 3, many people assume Higgins Boats are made entirely out of steel. Now, that's a reasonable assumption given their gray color, but these boats were actually a hybrid design. The rear and the sides were actually made out of wood, while the drop ramp was made out of steel. Later models would add steel armor on the side of the landing craft for additional protection. In Battlefield 5, you can see the sides of the Higgins boat splinter under enemy fire, while the steel ramp doesn't. It even produces a metallic sound when struck by bullets. On the inside of the boat, you can actually see boot prints, similar to what appears on the LCTs. Fourth are the parachutes in the trees over Objective D on Conquest. Initially, I thought these were cargo parachutes from our first glimpses of the map's teaser trailer, but the red and the white checkered design reveals they're actually survival chutes, most likely from the downed airmen who were apparently swallowed by the jungle. For number 5, let's check out the new Lunge mine gadget. Not only can you charge the enemy with a bayonet-style attack, you can also plunge them up close. This has all kinds of useful applications, including humiliating the occasional pesky sniper. Now, I did some testing, and it doesn't look like you can actually shoot the Lunge mine, but it will lose to a bayonet charge every time. And in case you're wondering what happens when a Lunge mine meets another Lunge mine, well, you both die. Sixth on the list are the umbrella and chairs that can be found at the northwest edge of the map. More than just a humorous set piece, these are actually the hallmark of one of the map's designers, Johan Janssen, who has left a similar mark on other Battlefield maps, including Hamada. Our 7th detail was added with another new gadget in Battlefield 5. The business end of the M1A1 Bazooka is quite effective against enemy vehicles, but its backblast can also be fatal. Any unfortunate enemies that wind up too close to the rear of the weapon won't be sneaking up on anyone anytime soon. This also makes the Bazooka another ideal humiliation weapon, if you're bold enough. Interestingly, backblast from the Panzerfaust doesn't have the same effect in Battlefield 5, though DICE could certainly add it at some point in the future. You can also zero the aim for the Bazooka using its ladder sights. For number 8, let's take a look at a few cool animals on the Solomon Islands map. Lurking in the rivers of the new map, you'll occasionally see a large crocodile gliding along. It even has an official name, Max. Like the sharks on Pacific Storm, this croc can attack and injure you. If your health's low enough, it can actually kill. You'll also spot some beautiful green and red parrots on the map. Similarly, if you head to an island on the southeast side of the map and hang out for a little bit, you'll discover a cool Easter egg. Battlefield 5's audio team apparently had a fun time pretending to be parrots, and here you're able to listen to their, well, best efforts. Meanwhile, we previously spotted rats in Firestorm. but you can see them skittering around the jungle floor in a few places on the new Solomon Islands map. Ninth is an audio detail that really gets under my skin. If you stand in one place long enough in the marsh areas of the Solomon Islands map, you'll actually hear the sound of a mosquito buzzing in your ear. It's actually really effective at selling the tropical feel of the map, and I kind of feel like I'm getting malaria just from listening to it. Now, the sound does appear on other maps in Battlefield 5, most notably Twisted Steel, but it's the first time I've mentioned it in a details video. Lastly, let's check out a cool aspect of the Nambu Type 11 light machine gun. This weapon actually has two different reloads in Battlefield 5. By default, players swap out the magazine hopper to reload the weapon, and if you look closely, the player does actually hit the release on the right side of the gun, and this could technically be done. More often than not, however, the operator would simply just toss another stripper clip into the hopper. This can be done in Battlefield 5 with a top-off specialization, so long as there's space for an entire 5-round clip. That rounds out 10 cool details in Battlefield 5 for this episode, but as usual, I've got a few more bonus ones for you. Many players expect the Model 37 shotgun in Battlefield 5 to be a true pump-action weapon, but it can actually be slam-fired, effectively turning it into a fully automatic weapon in-game. Simply hold down the trigger, and the shotgun fires as fast as your character can cycle the action. It's interesting DICE made the Model 37 capable of slam firing instead of the Model M1897, which could slam fire in Battlefield 1. Next, there are a couple new fortifications on the Solomon Islands map. These include improvised log and stone obstacles, useful for funneling enemy infantry and armor, and pontoon bridges. It's nice to see DICE creating new fortifications to give recent maps a fresher feel. It's also worth mentioning that there is quite a bit more barbed wire on this map, and only one weapon slices cleanly through it quickly, and that of course is the katana. Meanwhile, Battlefield 5 devs have actually been busy improving one of the game's most recent maps. Fighting on Wake Island often surrounds the two giant fuel tanks, and previously these containers offered cover and a great position for sniping or calling in squad reinforcements. Since the most recent update, however, you might not want to spend as much time up there. These fuel tanks will now explode in an absolutely massive fireball if they take enough damage, and yes, it will kill you. It's even lethal if you land in it afterwards, and the nearby pipeline can also be destroyed. Wake Island isn't the only map that got updated in the last patch. Developers recently added a cool Easter egg to the launch map, Devastation. In a previous video, I mentioned the drop container over Charlie can actually be shot open. However, now, something actually falls out. A katana. The weapon is particularly useful in the close quarters of the destroyed cathedral. As far as I know, the gadget doesn't respawn, so use it wisely. Finally, I'm not sure if unfinished details deserve to make the cut, but one of Battlefield 5's senior designers, Nicholas Astron, recently revealed on Twitter that they had intended to place a bucket at the top of one of the waterfalls on Solomon Islands to act as the starting point for the flowing water. Unfortunately, DICE ran out of time and had to ship Solomon Islands without that bucket, but here's hoping they get some time to sneak it in a future update. I hope you enjoyed these new details in Battlefield 5, and if you want to check out more details videos, make sure to click the links down below in the video description. I'm also happy to announce a couple new partnerships with Gamer Advantage glasses and Neat microphones. I do have some giveaways coming up, so make sure you're following on social media for the latest on contests and other Battlefield news. You'll find links to those down in the video description. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If not, a dislike, and make sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments. What was your favorite detail? And is there anything you'd like to see added? Tell me down below. For more Battlefield content, subscribe, and make sure to tap the bell for updates on the latest Battlefield videos. As always, thanks for watching.